चालू करें। Hello everyone, I am Mahesh, and those who are not aware about myself, so I am senior test automation architect with 14 plus years of experience in the field of software test automation. Uh, I worked on the web automation, mobile automation, then performance, then performance and load testing. Then I worked for 5 years in the R&D department where I worked on the multiple technologies like C Sharp, Java, then Python, R language. Also, if you know, I worked on Selenium PTD, then REST assured mobile automation using Appium, then load and performance with the JMeter, and the same way I explore a lot of other tools. Now, apart from this, uh, I have uh, one patent on my name and another in queue. Also, from my social reach, I help near about 2,200 plus people to learn test automation, and near about 1,100 plus people they got placed in a very good organization, and definitely in the renowned organization. And then I started helping so many people in terms of not only in the test automation of one technologies, I help them to learn some other technologies as well. Now, when I talked from the my education background, I do have engineering background, that is being computers, as well as I started my career in MBA with IT and international business. Now, what today I'm going to show you is the important topic. Let's say so many peoples or the interviewer, they may ask you the question. Okay, so the question is, tell me how do you improve the performance of your automation scripts? Okay, so the people question or the interviewer question that jumps, that how do we uh, improve the performance of any of your automated scripts? So there are so many different ways, like you can optimum your code base or do something else, likewise, or use the different browsers or some lightweight browsers where we can use or execute our test scripts. So these are some of the questions which people may ask you. Now, to answer some of those questions, so why this type of question comes into the picture? Now the question comes because sometimes, if you know, we are working on a different machines, like, or different servers or the CI systems. Those are nothing but Unix based systems, and the test cases that we are running on those Unix based systems are definitely required in the non-GUI mode sometimes. Okay, when we say non-GUI mode, means I don't want to open any of the browser, but still I wanted to execute my test cases. So is it possible? This is one of the question in interview. Is it possible that we can do this? Do you think this is possible? Do you think this is possible? Just a question to all of you guys. Do you think this is possible? So what happened when I said I wanted to execute my test without any browser? I simply wanted to execute it. So answer is yes, it is 100% possible that we can simply execute that test case, and that test case we can run in the any of the headless browser. Now next question comes into the picture, what is that headless browser? Now, headless browser is term that is used to define some of your browser simulations. Okay, which we can say the browser simulation that do not have any GUI, and these programs execute like any other browsers but do not display any UI. That means it will execute your test case or let's say if I wanted to log in into Gmail, I wanted to do that into a headless, that means without non-GUI mode, then I am able to log in into uh, I can able to log in into Gmail, but without that headless browser. Now, so do you think this is Selenium supports this headless browser? So answer is yes, Selenium supports this headless browsers. Now previously we were using HTML unit driver and all others to the headless browsers. Somebody still using for WebDriver 2 and onwards, but what I would like to show you is very important. How do we manage to do that with the respective browsers? Let's say I wanted to do the headless browser for Chrome. How do we proceed that? How do we do that? Let's say I wanted to headless browser on the Firefox. How do we do that? So I wanted to show you that exactly the process. Now, somebody asks you again, do you think headless browser has some of the benefits and where we use that? So answer is yes. When you try to use your CI pipeline, that means using your Jenkins, using any of another continuous integration tool base, then definitely you need to run your test into the headless browser. Same way, you can support multiple browser versions simultaneously. You can use those in the headless mode, and you can do the multiple tasks. That means when you run your test into headless mode, you can do some other operation. Let's say I'm writing my code and I'm running my script in the headless. That is possible, 100% possible. Okay, but there are some limitations also. Let's say if I am running my script and I wanted to debug my code, do you think it is possible? Definitely it is not possible, because what happened, I am running my script into the headless mode and I simply wanted to see how do we validate whether it is identifying this element or not, whether it is displayed, whether it is enabled or not, whether I do have this element present, and whether I am able to find that visible text 25. If I wanted to do that, debugging that code on the actual UI, which is not possible in the headless mode. Okay, so now let's start with the headless implementation. I'll show you how do we do this headless browsers. Okay, so let me go back. Let me start my code. Today I'm going to write a new class, and I said headless implementation. Okay, headless implementation. Now let's implement. Okay, I do have my public static void main. I simply finish this code. Now I remove this. Again, what I'll do, I'll write a separate code base. I'll write a separate code base, and where I can simply use that as a I'll simply call that functions. Okay, and then we can just use that. So let me write one public static void. I said headless, or let's take yes, headless Chrome for example. First I wanted to execute that from the specific browser itself. Okay, so before that I'll simply copy my regular code base from here. Let me copy this. I tried that. Okay, I tried that, and then I can write here the driver dot get, and whatever application, I'll go back into my browser. I'll simply open my here application, that is Selenium QTP app. Okay, so let's copy this URL. I go back, I'll enter that URL here. Let me make that bit larger. Okay, so now what I did, I have my system.set property. I always discuss what is that, then I always discuss what is this line means for, always discuss what is driver.get. So all these are the functions. Okay, all those are the functions available within your WebDriver interface. Now what I'll write, I wanted to write, let's say driver dot find element. I wanted to find that element username. Okay, let's try this. I wanted to automate this whole page. I wanted to automate whole this page using headless browser. So let's try. I can go back and identify its element. The elements is name. Okay, so I can simply write here by dot name, and it has the name, so it says name. Okay, so name, and I'll not go more in detail about all other areas. I'll simply enter that is my username, or let's write here any one of your name. Let me write here, I can say Saudagar. Okay, so I write Saudagar. Okay, so please uh, forgive me if I miss your spelling or misspell your spelling. Okay, Saudagar. Okay, so what I did here, driver dot find element by name and send keys as Saudagar. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to do here as a password, and then I wanted to enter as a confirm. I wanted to enter it as a confirm password. So now let me take here the password first. If you can see that password value, the name equals password, and same way name equals confirm password. So I'll go back, I'll write my script here. So driver dot find element by dot name. I said here password, and I know Saudagar's password, so I'll simply enter here my password. Okay, and now the next I will use driver dot find element, and I said by again dot name, by dot name, and I will say here a confirm password this time. I guess it has a confirm password. Yes, so let me copy this confirm password, and then I can write send keys here, and I said my confirm password is my password one more time. Okay, so let's say I entered all these three details here, that is entering my username, entering my password, and entering my confirm password. Now what I'll do, I'll first validate these things whether it will execute using my current code base. So let me run this code, and I'll simply run this code first. So it should open in the without headless mode, and it should perform all these operations. So what now I'm going to do something different way. So just give me some time so that I can show you guys this. Okay. So it is opening, yes. So it's added my username, added my password, added my confirm password. Okay, I have not yet clicked on login. I don't want to even. So now what I'll do, I'll simply write here after this what I can write, I will simply write here that system.out.println, I can say successfully uh, done operation, for example. Okay, so that the final, if any of the exception, that means any of this statement is throwing the exception, that will be, then this line or this statement will definitely not execute. Okay, but if there is no exception, then definitely this line will be execute. Okay, so I wanted to see that now, but before that what I need to do is I wanted to do that in the non GUI mode. Currently, if you can see, it opens one of my Chrome browsers instance, and then I can just simply execute or implement it, or it is executed in the Chrome browser. Now I do have an option here. Now I do have the options here, and that nothing but a Chrome options. Anyone heard these Chrome options before? Anyone heard this Chrome options before? Anyone heard this Chrome options before? I am just asking that question. There is some reason behind this, guys, so that it's easy for you also to answer in interview. Why I'm asking such type of question? Because the same type of question people may ask you in interview. Okay, so now when we talked about Chrome options, okay, when we talked about the Chrome options, and there is very important thing about the Chrome options. Now the Chrome options is a class. Okay, now I'll simply write here, let me show you why Chrome options is used and how it is used. So I simply write here a Chrome options. Let's print this. So if you can see, I got this Chrome options here. Now Chrome options is a class and which extend your mutable capabilities. Now Chrome options, if I can write here, this will extends your mutable capabilities. Okay, that means I can set some of the capabilities to my Chrome's browser. Now why we use this class? So Chrome options class is used to manage options specific to your Chrome driver. This is used to manage your options or a specific options to your Chrome driver. Now, what is mutable capabilities? Now, mutable capabilities, I mean, that was introduced far long within the Selenium version 3.6, okay, in the Java client. And all those options classes now extends the mutable capabilities. So now when we say this, now what is this? I mean, about the mutable capabilities. So now in Selenium 3.7, the desired capability was migrated to either mutable capabilities or it is immutable capabilities. Now we have to create an instance of Chrome options to set the Chrome driver. So I wanted to set some Chrome driver specific capabilities, and then I pass that Chrome driver options object to that web driver, or that means to Chrome driver or remote web driver constructor. Now if you are using the latest version of Selenium, then we can use that Chrome options instance very easily. So I'll show you now how do we do that. So what I did, I simply write here that Chrome options. Okay, now if it is a class, I can create that class instance. If this is a class, I can create this class instance. So I said I wanted to do the multiple options, and I said the new Chrome options. So this is how I can say. So I have my Chrome options set. Now what Chrome options say? Now what Chrome options says? So Chrome options says I wanted to run this Chrome driver into a headless mode. I wanted to run this Chrome driver into a headless mode. How it is possible? So I need to set some or I wanted to set some argument. So how do we add that argument? I said my options dot. I said add some argument. I said add some arguments. And I wanted to add the argument that is a headless. What I did? I simply did this. I simply said add some arguments, and those arguments are nothing but a headless. I wanted to set my desired capability, or I can say mutable capabilities of my Chrome driver. So that's why I created the instance of my Chrome driver or Chrome options class. And once I have created the Chrome options, so Chrome options instance, that means that class instance. Now what I will do, I will simply created or add that argument. I simply add that argument which is required to set. And I said I wanted to add the argument to my driver that is a headless. Okay, I wanted to use that as a headless. Now once I said I wanted to set that as a headless, now I wanted to pass that Chrome driver. I wanted to pass that Chrome driver constructor, that is my options. So what I'll do, I'll simply pass that into my Chrome driver. Those are my nothing but an options. Okay, so those are nothing but my options. So now what it should happen, so how that code base should execute. So my code base should simply run this code into the headless mode. So I wanted to see whether that opens my Chrome browser or it will not open. So let's set up here some input parameter as well, or some sysout or console output, that opening Chrome browser, I said. Okay, so Chrome browser, I'm simply said opening Chrome browser. Now let's try to run this code. Okay, let's try to run this code. I'll simply trying and running this code. Let's see what happened next. So it should open. Okay, it is saying opening the Chrome browser. So Chrome browser was started successfully. Can you see it is started anywhere? If you can see, the my execution is also done immediately. If you can see here the output, my execution is done also. Okay, so if you can see how fast it is, in the previous execution it was taking a lot of time. It is opening the browser, then adding its script. Once added the script, after adding my URL into the address bar, then what it will do, it will entering my username, password and the confirm password, and then it was uh, closing the browser. Currently I didn't close, but if you can see here what happened, it was not taking even than more than 5 seconds for execution of all the scripts. Okay, so it is not taking more than 5 seconds to execute the scripts. So give me 1 minute guys, just okay. So now this is very interesting. When we said I can execute this and it is working now, but let's say now we just tweak this code. Now we'll simply tweak this code. So what we'll do first, I can try to do this first, that if let's say I don't want to find this element. Now anyone wants to answer. Now anyone wants to answer what happened. Do you think these scripts will execute? Anyone wants to answer what happened? Do you think this script will execute? Do you think guys this will execute the scripts? And if it will execute, then do you think it will execute complete code, or it will throw any exception? Or do you think it will not throw any exception and it will say yes, completed the execution? So multiple options. What do you think? It will execute, and do you think it will throw you error? It will generate an exception. Okay. Okay. Do you think it will execute? Okay, so most of the people are saying no such element exception. Very good answer guys. So let's try to execute this code base. Okay, so let's run and we can simply say it again. Okay, I just saved that code and running into Java. So we can see how it will execute. Yes, Vaishali, I'm going to cover for Firefox also. Just stay tuned. I'll show you how it will execute for Firefox also. Okay, just wait for that. Now what happened? If you can see here, I got the output. And what that output says, it is a no such element exception. Which element it was failed to identify? The element that we purposefully failed to identify, that we change its attribute value. That's why it is failed to identify this element. Okay, so this is how, if you can see, this is how it will we can find this code base. Okay, and where we can find I mean, whether in the headless can we handle the exception. Again, next question people may ask you, can we handle the exception into the headless mode also? Answer is yes, that is also possible, that we can identify some of the exception in the headless mode, and the same way how we can run the code, we can identify those also using the headless code base. Okay, and again the next question people may ask you, do you think I can handle the frame using headless mode? Answer is yes. So whatever operation that I can do in the GUI mode, the all operation that is possible using non-GUI mode also. That's why the first question answer, that means can we improve the performance of your automated script? So answer is yes. Using headless operations, headless mode, we can improve the performance. Okay. Now I can go back here and I wanted to show you something very interesting on the Firefox now. Okay. So let me write another function this time. I'll write another function, public static void, and I said headless Firefox. Okay, so this is the first time that I'm showing you how to execute the code base in Firefox, guys. So I'm not sure if anyone attended the previous sessions, but still what I am planning to do is I wanted to show you some multiple browser operations, multiple browser executions. Again, those are some of the my plans for you guys to learn. Okay, so now currently what I wanted to show you, I wanted to show you the execution of your Firefox browser. So the same code base. I'll not waste more time here. I'll simply copy this code base from here. I'll copy this code base. I'll simply set it here. Now, a very important, when you are executing a Firefox, there is one thing into the key you wanted to set, and the key, anyone wants to answer what is the key that we wanted to set it here? Anyone wants to answer what is the key do you think we need to set from the Selenium WebDriver 3 onwards? Anyone know? Anyone know how do we do this? So do you think it is possible to execute Firefox? Do you think I need to write here Firefox? Or do you think I need to write here Gecko? What's the answer? If that is the case, I'll simply write here, I can go back and I can see what is my Gecko driver. I'll simply copy this, his name, Gecko driver from the same location. I'll simply pass it here. Now, do you think this is the correct code, guys? Now, do you think this is the correct? Yes, very good. So, do you think this is the correct code? If this is the correct code, I simply wanted to write the next statement. Okay, so next statement that I wanted to write is my web driver equals a new Firefox, and I can simply write a Firefox driver here. Okay, I simply wanted to see first whether I am able to perform all these operations using the Firefox, and then only we can run our code base. So let's see, I can simply run first without headless. Okay, this is not headless currently. Okay, this is not headless currently. So let's try to execute this code base. If you can see what I did, I simply opening the Firefox here and same code base I'm running. So I'll simply change, I forgot to change this. So now I'll simply execute, open this, then I wanted to do the same name, password, confirm password, and finally complete it. So let's run this code base and we'll see that. So let it opens. Okay, so it is opening the browser, Firefox browser. Okay, so it is launching the browser. Now once, okay, so it launched the browser, yes, and it should enter yes. So if you can see, it is launching my Firefox browser. This is my Firefox browser. It launched the Firefox, then it enters my username, password, and the confirm password, and I am done. So now I can get here successfully done operations. Now the question comes, why I wanted to remove that HTML unit driver and I wanted to show you that from the separate browsers. Why I'm showing you this from the separate browsers, there is a reason behind it. And the reason is people may ask you to do this operation on the specific browser. Sometimes client may ask you, I wanted to run all the code base on the Firefox in the background, but all the code base in the Chrome or on the GUI mode. Okay, that is perfectly, people may, or people can ask you the question. Now the way that we have added the Chrome option, now we can add here, we can add here again the options, and that option this time is your Firefox options. If you know, I'm simply adding here a Firefox options this time. Same way what we did here, we have added the Chrome options. Same way we have added here the Firefox option. Again it is extended from the mutable capabilities. Again it is extended from the mutable capabilities. And if I did this, then I need to simply again try to set or add those argument. I try to add those argument. Again I'll try options dot add argument, and I said what is the argument, again headless. What is the argument? So I wanted to set this argument as an headless. Okay, and again I can pass, here the options. Again I can pass here the options. Nothing change. See, why I show you, people may confuse always, like I need to marinate the gecko driver in the Firefox, I need to do some other things into the Firefox to open. That is completely wrong. Most of the time it is not required. What you need to do is you need to simply identify this Firefox options or the Chrome options or the any other browser options, and you can simply set that add argument as an headless and you can start. So let's try to run this code base this time. Okay, so I simply wanted to save. Okay, I'm getting some error. Where is the error? Okay, so I'm getting error here because I was not completed my code base or statement. Now let's try and run this. Once I run, this time it should execute and open into the headless. See, it will 100% written here. Yes, you are running in headless mode. Can you see what it says? You are running in headless mode and your execution is done. And your execution is done. It is not taking more than 3 to 4 seconds for execution completion. It is mentioning here very clearly that you are executing in the headless mode. And once you said your execution is headless mode, you can successfully run or done your operation because it is printing that successful operations. Now, the next thing that I wanted to show you, is a very important, that is a set size. Somebody asked you, okay, and I came to know these are the questions. So many people I attended, I mean the people that to whom I am helping them to learn the automation, they are getting some of the interview questions that, do you think I am able to set the browser size? Do you think I am able to set the browser size? Is a question. Do you think it is possible to set the browser size? Anyone wants to answer on this? Do you think it is possible to set the browser size? So that I'm correlating this with the headless. Okay, I'm correlating this with the headless in future, but do you think it is possible to set the browser size? That means any of the browsers, if I open, then I wanted to set that, or I wanted to set its size, that what length or height and width I want to open that my browser window. Do you think that window size is possible to set? Is a question. Anyone wants to answer? I'm just finding your answer, guys, if you wanted to answer it. Okay, Arpit is saying using the Zoom JavaScript. Okay, Zoom size. Okay. Okay, no. Any other try? Anyone wants to try? Okay, Charvita is saying it is possible. Yes, it is possible. That's for sure. I'm saying, but anyone knows how? Anyone knows how it is possible? Anyone wants to answer? Okay, so let me okay. So guys, what you are doing is, I'm saying I wanted to set a particular size. Okay, I wanted to set a particular size. So let me write here so that I can show you that how do we manage that. So what I'll write before opening my code base. Okay, so before opening, or once I open my Chrome driver, then I can set the browser size. So driver dot manage, you know this driver dot manage. Then we can say window, and every one of you are answering it's maximize. But there is another also, that is a set size. There is another method or command again available within the Selenium, that is a set size. Now why I'm talking about this set size? The reason behind this set size is, if I wanted to execute the same script on my iPad, on my laptop or my thin laptop of 10-inch size or 12-inch monitor, or I wanted to execute on 15-inch desktop, if or I wanted to open that on 15-inch desktop, then before executing this, sometimes I can say that no such element exception or element is present, but I can get stale element exception. The reason behind is it is not visible sometimes, and such type of exception I'll get because we do have the different sizes. So if I wanted to close this, if I wanted to do the changes into this, what I can do, I can simply say I wanted to set the size. And what is my size? So size that I can say, it is a dimension. It is a dimension. Now if you can see here, there are multiple dimension available. So which dimension I wanted to import? I wanted to import the dimension which is available within my Selenium library. Okay, what I said, I can say I wanted to import that dimension which is available within my Selenium library. I can access only that particular dimension where I do have my width and height. So let's set that integer height and width. Now what I can say, I wanted to set the height around 1000, width around 1000 and height around 700. Okay, I simply said that. Let me remove this Chrome option so that we can see that in the first. We can try to see that into GUI mode first. Okay, how it works. So now I execute my Chrome from here. Okay, so I execute my Chrome from here. Now I try to run this code base so that it should set the size at runtime to my browser. Let's execute and try to run this code base. So I'm opening Chrome browser. Once it opens, some of its default size, and then I'm going to set its perfect size. See, this is its default size. And now if you can see, the size is changed. Now if you can see, the size is changed. Okay, it's changed its size. And then we can just try to set that size. I can get some exception. Let me see what is that exception. No such element exception because it may take some time to set the size. Oh, okay, so this, okay, I simply wanted to change this. Okay, if you want, I can set some again a smaller size of this 800 and 700. Okay, now I'll execute this. Let me execute this code base one more time so that I can showcase you this. Okay, so opening this Chrome browser, and now this time, see, this is the actual size with browser opens. Now when I set that size, it will be a bit smaller. Can you see that 800, 700, it sets that size. So this is my, for example, iPad size. So I can execute my browser. That means I can execute, or I can develop my test case into iPad mode, and then I can run that test case within my iPad, within my a smart laptop or within my 15-inch laptop or 12-inch laptop. So once I can set the size, I can do my execution anywhere. Now why I'm setting that size in this, the reason behind this is somebody asked me the questions also. Okay, so I know this is very interesting, and most of the time the dimension also you can get those dimension also. Okay, you can get the dimension, you can set the dimension. All these are the things that is possible. Okay, all these are the things that is possible, guys. Now what I can say, when we said I wanted to execute this test in the headless mode, now do you think, now the people may ask you the question, now do you think the same script will execute into this size that you have set? Do you think, or it will throw you an exception? What do you think? Anyone wants to answer? The question is, if I have set the size of my browser, and now if I wanted to execute this, if I already set the dimension or set the browser size in the GUI mode, but now I wanted to execute in the non-GUI mode, or we can say the headless mode. So do you think it will throw you an error in the headless mode, or do you think it will execute? So Chaitanya is saying it will not set the size. Okay. Anyone else? Praveen saying no any error. So I have passed the Chrome options. Okay. I have passed the Chrome options here. Now do you think it will set the size in the non-GUI mode? Is my question. My question is, do you think it will set that size in the non-GUI mode? That means in the headless mode. Do you think it is possible? Okay, these are the interview question, guys, only on the headless which I am asking you. Okay, try to answer. I'll definitely, if you are not able to answer, I'll definitely answer you. What do you think? So it will not set the size, right? Okay. Okay, so most of you are saying it will not set the size. So let me explain you here. So definitely, whatever you are running, I just repeated some time back that whatever you are executing in the GUI mode, the same will execute into your non-GUI mode as well. Same will execute in your non-GUI mode as well. So based on that, it will not having any exception or error, but still it will set the size of the browser that you are asking for. So if I am setting the size of dimension 800 700, that is height and width, then the same size will be set in the non-GUI mode as well, and it will execute the same script in that way. Now somebody asked me the question, how do we confirm that? How do we confirm that? So you can take a screenshot as well. So people may ask you the question, do you think I am able to take the screenshot in the non-GUI mode? Anyone wants to answer on that? Do you think I am able to take a screenshot in the non-GUI mode? Anyone wants to answer on that? Do you think it is possible to take the screenshot? Is that possible to take the screenshot in the non-GUI mode, so that I can make sure the size that I have set is correct and executable? Yes, it is 100% possible, guys. Okay, so it is 100% possible that I can get the screenshot in the non-GUI mode also. Very good answer, guys. So it is 100% possible that you can take the screenshot in the non-GUI mode also. Now, do you think I can validate the title also? Now, let's say if I wanted to validate here, I wanted to validate once the it is open, I'll simply check if the driver dot get title, okay, dot equals, I can say dot equals whatever the value of that. So let me take the name that is a registered page. Okay, so I can simply get its title from here. Okay, I can simply get from here. Now, do you think it is possible to get? Do you think it is possible to get the title and validate in the non-GUI mode? Do you think it is possible to validate the title in the non-GUI mode? Is again a next question in interview. It is again a next question in interview. Okay, so people may ask you such type of question to confuse you, nothing else. So let's try to execute whether it will validate or not and just simply run the code. Okay, so we simply wanted to see whether it will validate the title also. So if you can see, it will open the Chrome driver and it is simply validate your title and it is done. So once it is executed and validated, it is done. So guys, you can do so many operations due to this the less time. I cannot go more in detail about this, but I'll surely, if any question, any concern, I'll happy to share. Now, if you need this code base, just do let me know. I can share this code base again uh, on the particular this comment box, so that if you require that, please mention in the comment box. If you like the video, then please press on the like. If you dislike, then please dislike this video. That's perfectly fine. Okay, I'm going to take a very interesting topic on this Saturday on the interview. Okay, so I'm going to take how to crack the automation interview. Very interesting topic, and do not miss those topic. Those topics are, I know what exactly I'm going to show you, and it's very interesting that you came to know, okay, these are some of the mistakes most of the time we can do. So guys, if you need your assignments and if you want this code base, just do let us know. So support team will help you to get it. Okay. So if you want and if you wanted to follow me, then you can go on LinkedIn and search automated script and you can find me there. So thank you so much for joining and have a good night, guys. We'll meet again on this Saturday with very interesting topic on the interview. So till this point, just stay tuned. Thank you so much. Bye.